The crack echoed across the parade ground like a gunshot. 380 soldiers stood frozen, eyes wide, as the decorated admiral fell to his knees, his arm bent at an impossible angle. And the one who had done it, not an enemy, not a rival commander, but the woman he had just tried to humiliate. The morning had begun like any other grand naval ceremony. The USS Constitution gleamed proudly in the harbor, flags whipped in the Atlantic breeze, and medals caught the sunlight on the chests of officers lined in perfect formation. Every step, every salute, every detail reflected the discipline of the fleet. For Commander Sarah Blake, this was supposed to be the proudest day of her career. 15 years of service, 3 combat deployments, nights spent away from family, and battles that left scars on her body and soul. All of it had led to this. Today, she would be promoted to captain. But behind the polish of the event, something darker lurked. Admiral Morrison had summoned her to his private quarters minutes before the ceremony. The door had clicked shut, and his demeanor, once professional, shifted into something predatory. His words slithered with entitlement, his breath thick with alcohol. "You know what this promotion really means, don't you?" he said. His hand reached toward her jaw. Ambitious women always learn how to show their gratitude. Sarah's jaw tightened, her pulse steady. She had commanded warships through hurricanes, patched the wounded under fire, and led sailors through chaos. She had faced mortars and storms alike. But this moment carried a weight of its own. "Sir," she said, her voice calm, "step back." But he didn't. His grip on her shoulder tightened. His arrogance grew, and something inside her, years of silent endurance, finally snapped. Her training took over. In one fluid motion, honed by years of close-quarters combat, she twisted, pivoted, and redirected his weight. The Admiral staggered, stunned, as her body moved with precision and control. Then came the moment that would be whispered through naval halls for decades. His fist rose in anger. Her counter was sharper than a blade. She caught his wrist, twisted it behind him, and drove pressure into the joint until the snap rang out across the parade ground. Silence blanketed the ranks. Admiral Morrison dropped to his knees, his uniform wrinkled, his face twisted with pain. Sarah stood over him, calm, unshaken. Her voice carried, low and steady, but loud enough for every soldier in formation to hear. "The next time you think about putting your hands on someone without their consent, remember this moment." The soldiers stood rigid, eyes fixed forward, but they had all heard. They had all seen. A man who had commanded fleets was now broken before their eyes, not by force of rank, but by the sheer weight of justice. Morrison gasped, rage and humiliation battling in his expression. "You've ended your career, Blake," he spat. "Court-martial. Prison. You'll never wear this uniform again." Sarah released his arm, stepping back with perfect composure. "Go ahead," she replied. "I'd be happy to explain to a tribunal exactly what happened in your office. Every word, every hand, every expectation." His face drained of color. He understood. In an era of accountability, her spotless record and his whispered reputation would speak louder than his threats ever could. From the formation, a grizzled master chief stepped forward. His voice was steady. "Ma'am," he said, "the formation is ready for your promotion ceremony." The meaning was clear. The ceremony would continue, not for Morrison, but for her. 20 minutes later, Sarah Blake stood before her peers, the weight of 380 soldiers' silent respect pressing into the moment. Her voice was steady as she recited her oath, the new insignia gleaming on her chest. Morrison was carried off the field, clutching his shattered arm. His career ended not with honor, but with disgrace. But Sarah's victory wasn't just a new rank. It was the unshakable message that spread across the Navy like fire, that silence doesn't equal weakness, and justice can be served without a single shouted word. She never spoke publicly of that day. She didn't need to. Her actions had already said everything that mattered. The next time you think about putting your hands on someone without their consent, remember this moment. Sometimes the strongest weapon isn't rank or power. It's the courage to say enough. Bravery doesn't always roar. Sometimes it speaks in silence, and ends with justice. Some battles are fought on the front lines. Others are fought in silence, behind closed doors. And sometimes, the most powerful stand a person can take is the refusal to let injustice go unanswered. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from. And if this story moved you, share it. And don't forget to subscribe to Still Tale for more stories that honor true silent heroes.